Jared Kushner asked Drudge not to report anti-H.R. Mcmaster news. H.R. Mcmaster is under fire from conservative media outlets for purging America First-oriented officials and his anti-Israel bias. Former Trump campaigner, manager, and InfoWars host Roger Stone tweeted Monday that Special Advisor to President Trump, Jared Kushner, asked Drudge Report founder Matt Drudge not to report negative coverage of H.R. Mcmaster. I misspoke at InfoWars when I said at Steve Bannon, who asked at Drudge not to post Mcmaster free pass for Susan Rice. It was Jared Kushner, tweeted Stone. As the Gateway Pundit previously reported, National Security Advisor H.R. Mcmaster is purging anyone who mentions Obama holdovers or criticizes Islam. Ezra Cohen Watnick, who Mcmaster fired, held anti-Islam views and was described as an Iran hawk who wanted to revamp counter-Iran efforts in the Middle East and sought to reform the intelligence community to rein in the deep state. Breitbart is now reporting that Mcmaster worked as a think tank which is backed by a Soros-funded group that helped Obama sell the Iran nuke deal to the public and media. Obama freed 7 Iranians who were threats to U.S. national security as part of the Iran nuclear deal while lying to the American people about it. Mcmaster also reportedly blocked Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu from joining President Trump at the Western Wall. In what may be the most striking report yet, Mcmaster views Israel as an illegitimate occupying power just like Iran. He's totally against everything President Trump stands for. White House National Security Advisor H.R. Mcmaster served at a UK-based think tank financed by a controversial George Soros-funded group identified by the Obama White House as central in helping to sell the Iran nuclear deal to the public and news media. From September 2006 to February 2017, Mcmaster is listed as serving as consulting senior fellow to the International Institute for Strategic Studies, IISS, which describes itself as a world-leading authority on global security, political risk, and military conflict. The IISS has been supportive of the Obama administration brokered 2015 nuclear accord with Iran, and the group has repeatedly hit back against charges that Tehran has violated the agreement. IISS's website contains a list of groups, corporations, and government entities that provide funding to the think tank, including during the period of Mcmaster's work there. Curiously missing from the page of donors, however, is the controversial Plowshares Fund, a grant-making group identified last year by the Obama White House as central in helping to market the Iran nuclear deal to the news media. An archived version of IISS's donor pages lists Plowshares as a donor. Breitbart News has found that IISS is listed as a grantee for Iran issues in Plowshares Fund's budget report for 2016. Soros funded Plowshares, part of echo chamber, quote, to sell Obama's Iran deal. Plowshares Fund is financed by Soros's Open Society Institute. How precious. The involvement of Plowshares in selling the Iran agreement to the public was revealed in an extensive New York Times Magazine profile of Obama's former Deputy National Security Advisor, Ben Rhodes, titled "The Aspiring Novelist Who Became Obama's Foreign Policy Guru." The article contains interviews with Rhodes and scores of top Obama administration officials. Read the full report by Breitbart here. If you thought Barack Hussein Obama's Iran nuclear deal was bad, take a look at the underbelly of it. As the Gateway pundit previously reported, Obama once again lied to the American people, claiming the Iranian prisoners he was giving clemency to merely violated economic sanctions. In reality, these 7 Iranian prisoners he freed were a threat to U.S. national security. Via the New York Post, in a blockbuster expose, Politico's Josh Mayer reports that Team Obama overruled veteran prosecutors to free 7 Iranians, claiming publicly they'd merely violated economic sanctions. In fact, they were charged with posing threats to U.S. national security as part of a weapons procurement ring. More, the administration also dropped charges against 14 fugitives involved in smuggling sophisticated weapons to Iran and its terrorist subsidiaries. The move ended the international arrest warrants against the 14. And Obama and company had been obstructing efforts to apprehend them. It only gets worse as time goes on, right, guys? Via the Politico, on January 17, 2016, President Barack Obama went on national TV to announce the formal implementation of the nuclear deal with Iran and another top-secret deal that secured the release of 4 Iranian Americans imprisoned by Tehran. In exchange, Obama said he was granting clemency to 6 Iranian Americans and 1 Iranian man convicted or awaiting trial in the U.S. for violations of U.S. sanctions laws, and that none of them were charged with terrorism or any violent offenses. Here's a snapshot of those involved, including details of 7 cases in the U.S. and the 14 Obama didn't mention. Iranian fugitives wanted by the U.S. that the administration drop charges and international arrest warrants against, citing significant foreign policy interests and the low probability of capturing them. Josh Mayer of Politico gives details of every Iranian prisoner who was released, which you can read here. I mean, this just gets worse and worse by the day. We knew Obama's corrupt, but, more keeps coming out. But this Mcmaster's character also is totally against everything Donald Trump stands for. So I just cannot understand why he's still there. And now Jared Kushner is telling Drudge not to report negative reports on Mcmaster. So what's going on here? And Mcmaster's against Israel there. He says Israel as an illegitimate occupying power, just like Iran. I mean, what's going on? It's